Now on 18 Eyewitness News.
The City of Farmington Spring Cleanup is just around the corner. The Bonne Terre Chamber of Commerce is hosting a disaster preparedness seminar, and a former Sykeston teacher gets probation for a sex charge. All of these stories are coming up.
I'm Storm Tracker Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp. Spring-like weather on the way for southeast Missouri. All the details coming up in your Storm Tracker weather forecast.
Coverage you can count on. This is 18 Eyewitness News.
Hello everybody, I'm Fred Dawkins. Thanks for joining us, and here's the top stories we're working on for you at this hour. The City of Farmington will have their annual spring cleanup in just a few weeks. Public Works Director Larry Lacey tells 18 Eyewitness News that this year's cleanup will be like in years past. You may set things out like old furniture and appliances, but appliances must have their compressors removed. Larry outlines what they will not pick up.
We don't take anything that your trash service normally would take, like trash or a cardboard box. Of course, leaves and limbs and brush, that goes out to the city farm. If anybody needs to get rid of that, that's open on Friday through Sunday every week.
The cleanup gets underway on Monday, April the 8th at 7:30 a.m. Larry mentions that each ward will be picked up only once during the spring cleanup, so make sure that you have all of your items out that day, that crews will be in your area. Visit KDKZ18.com to see which ward will be picked up at which dates. Now, Dustin Kopp is here with a look at our first forecast, and from here, Dustin, it looks good all the way through the weekend.
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. Temperatures right now at this hour, not too drastically chilly out there, but on the chilly side nonetheless. 38 degrees in Festus, Potosi at 39, 40 right now from St. Genevieve and Fredericktown, 43 in Cape Girardeau. Waking up in the morning, we'll be down to 25 degrees under a clear sky. It's going to be chilly. Northwest wind around 11 miles per hour. Another chilly day in southeast Missouri on your Wednesday, but some spring-like weather on tap for your forecast. All the details later in weather.
One of the men who originally was charged with murder in connection with the overdose death of Sean Bunch has pleaded guilty to a lesser charge. 36-year-old Vernon Logan Jr. of Deloge was sentenced to 10 years in prison for the sale of hydrocodone and the sale of Xanax. Logan was charged for violating probation he received for failure to return rental property. Logan had originally been charged with second-degree murder in connection with Bunch's death in Park Hills last year. Air Evac Life Team recently broke ground for its newest air ambulance base in Potosi. The company recently finalized an agreement with Washington County Memorial Hospital to place the base on that location. It will serve all hospitals and communities within a 70-mile radius. The new location will be one of 111 locations in the United States. Well, are you prepared for a disaster like the Joplin tornado that hit back in 2011? If you're not, the Bonne Terre Chamber of Commerce has the answer for you. On April 1st, there will be an educational disaster preparedness seminar at Heritage Hall in Bonne Terre. Chamber Director Nancy Dill tells 18 Eyewitness News what you will learn at the seminar.
Do a program on what would happen to your business if it was destroyed today. Recently, we've had so many disasters with the Joplin tornado and those type of things that we decided to prepare our businesses around here and answer questions like who would you call, what plans would you have in place to continue your business, what would happen to your employees, and what could you have done to minimize that disaster.
If you're interested in taking this seminar, you must register to do so. Contact Nancy at the Bonne Terre Chamber of Commerce at 358-4000. And when we come back on 18 Eyewitness News, there will be a chainsaw safety workshop at the Tom Sauk Lookout Tower. That story coming up only on 18 Eyewitness News.
For 15 years, Heartland Furniture and Appliance has been the leader in price for Restonic bedding. Whirlpool built Crosley appliances, Frigidaire appliances, sofa sets, recliners, accent furniture, and White's metal detectors. Same-day delivery with no waiting. We are fast becoming this area's leader in the home furnishing and appliance business. Need a little cash? Payday loans are available in each store. We'd love to have you come see us at one of our 3 locations on both sides of Main Street in Piedmont, Business 60 in Dexter, and next to Current River Ford in Donovan. Heartland Furniture and Appliance, 223-3200. 3200.
washes. Let it wash you this morning. Oh, the blood of Jesus shed for me. What a sacrifice that saved my life. With the blood, it is my victory.
How can heat also be cool? When it comes from targeted induction technology, which uses electromagnetic waves to quick heat your pan, boiling up to 40% faster, while the surface around it stays perfectly cool to the touch. It's faster, hotter, and, well, cooler.
Hi, Bob Seabaugh at Seabaugh Furniture and Appliance. Come and see this and other great features and benefits that will amaze you. Now on sale at Seabaugh Furniture and Appliance in downtown Fredericktown.
You're watching 18 Eyewitness News with Fred Dawkins and Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp. 18 Eyewitness News continues.
The MU Extension Center in Iron County and the Missouri Department of Conservation Foresters will have a chainsaw safety workshop on Saturday, March 23rd at the Tom Salk Lookout Tower by Missouri Forest Products Association's chainsaw safety instructor Joe Glenn. County Program Director Deborah Hink tells 18 Eyewitness News what Joe will do at the event.
He's going to help people figure out how to pick the right chainsaw and how to keep it in good shape. Then he's going to talk about how to knock that tree down into the right spot. So he's going to do some demonstration, and he will be available to answer questions.
The workshop is limited to only 25 people. Visit our website, kdkz18.com, for information on how to sign up. 18-year-old Austin Louis of Perryville has been charged with multiple counts of statutory rape and child molestation after police say he was having sex with at least 6 eighth-grade girls. Now, according to court documents, Louis used similar methods in every case, including Facebook. Louis is charged in Perry and St. Francis County with a total of 8 counts of first-degree statutory rape that prosecutors say took place during a 4-month period that ended back in January. Now, each of the felonies carry a possible punishment of 5 years to life in prison because the victims were younger than 14 years of age. He also faces 3 misdemeanor counts of child molestation in a case in which he almost exclusively selected 13-year-old girls. Louis is in custody in the St. Francis County Jail on a $110,000 cash-only bond and is scheduled for an April 19th initial arraignment. 29-year-old Andrew Dallas of Jackson has been sentenced to 5 years probation for sexual misconduct after he was accused of sending explicit photos to a 14-year-old student. Prosecutors dropped 5 charges against Dallas in exchange for his guilty plea. Dallas' original 6 charges, 3 alleging child enticement and 3 for misconduct involving a minor, carried a maximum punishment of 102 years in prison. And when we come back on 18 Eyewitness News, we'll have the latest Missouri State headlines.
When someone comes in a Mineral Area's emergency department, our focus is giving them the best treatment in the quickest manner possible. We track every single patient, sending the doctors information before they even walk in the room. We have dedicated X-ray and CT equipment in our emergency department. We don't have to waste any time running all over the hospital. We know that minutes count in an emergency, and you can count on ER Plus at Mineral Area Regional Medical Center.
With extended hours, Let the UPS store pack and ship your gifts.
Hi, I'm Steve from the UPS store in Farmington, Missouri. Me and my staff would like to wish you and yours a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Time now to take a look at our 2-minute look at Missouri. Construction is about to begin on the Loop Trolley project in University City. The City Council in the St. Louis County town voted unanimously on Monday to give a conditional use permit to the Loop Trolley Company. One councilman had concerns about the project but voted for it because no city dollars are being spent. Mayor Shelley Welsh believes the trolley will spur economic growth, especially if a high-speed internet cable is embedded into the trolley's trench. The council also voted on trolley hours. It will run from 9 in the morning until 1:30 a.m. The FBI says a former minister wanted in Kansas City, Missouri on molestation charges has been arrested in New Orleans. 48-year-old George Spencer is accused of child molestation and forcible sodomy against a girl at the Greater Works CME Church, where he was an associate pastor. Spencer was arrested Friday by the FBI New Orleans Violent Crime Task Force, which got information about his likely whereabouts from the Bureau's Missouri office. Spencer is awaiting extradition to Kansas City, where he will be formally charged on the warrant in February by Jackson County. A St. Louis County woman faces sentencing June the 11th after admitting to a role in a tax fraud scheme that netted $1.4 million. Patricia Taylor of Creve Coeur pleaded guilty Monday in U.S. District Court in St. Louis. Federal prosecutors say an investigation began after Taylor tried to cash a tax refund check for a return filed in the name of a dead person and made payable to a second dead person. That investigation led to charges against Taylor and 3 others. Prosecutors say the investigation has identified 200 suspicious tax returns. Branson police say a couple found dead in an apparent murder-suicide at a Branson hotel were from Oklahoma. Police identified the couple as 30-year-old Cameron Davis and 28-year-old Amy Davis, both of which were from Tulsa, Oklahoma. The two were found dead at the Queen Anne Motel on Saturday. Police say that it appeared Davis shot Dawson with a handgun and then shot himself. An autopsy has not yet been conducted.
Will we see any spring-like weather for southeast Missouri? All the details coming up next in your Storm Tracker weather forecast.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker 18 weather forecast with Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp.
And welcome back. Let's take a look at weather headlines for southeast Missouri. One more day of that chilly air in southeast Missouri. Then we're going to be seeing spring-like weather for Missouri here Thursday and lasting through Saturday. Some nice temperatures on the way. And it looks like rain is possible for Sunday and Monday. Temperatures right now are in the upper 30s to lower 40s. 43 right now in Cape Girardeau, St. Genevieve, Fredericktown, 40 degrees. 38 in Festus, 39 in Potosi, and 42 right now in Poplar Bluff. Currently here at the studio, we're at 38 degrees under a partly cloudy sky. Feels like 30 out there. Current dew point 25 with 59% humidity and northwest wind at 13 miles per hour. What's in store for your Wednesday in the middle of the week? Plenty of sunshine throughout southeast Missouri. Not a bad day at all. A little bit on the chilly side though. Temperatures in the middle 40s. 25 degrees for your overnight low. Partly cloudy skies. 25 in Festus, 27 in St. Genevieve and Fredericktown. A little bit warmer if you call 28, 29 degrees warmer down to our south. Then for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine. Sunshine's going to last for a while. 45 degrees for your daytime high. Mostly sunny skies. Northwest wind 5 to 10. Temperatures in the mid 40s north, upper 40s south. Not a bad day at all. We're going to continue to see a warm up here in southeast Missouri. Thursday, we'll see sunshine. Not a bad day at all. 60 degrees. Look at that Friday forecast. 68 degrees. Some areas could top out in the lower 70s. Not a bad forecast at all. Plenty of sunshine. 62 and partly sunny on your Saturday. Some rain moves in for Saturday night into Sunday. We'll see highs in the lower 50s on Sunday. Monday, rain continues. High around 50. And then we're starting to reach back up into that upper 50 degree mark by Tuesday with plenty of sunshine. Looking at the forecast for the weekend once again, 62 degrees on Saturday, plenty of sunshine, partly cloudy skies, and some rain moves in Saturday night into Sunday. Temperatures on Sunday in the lower 50s. That's Check Up Your Storm Tracker weather forecast. More details located at KDKZ18.com. Just click on the weather tab. Fred.
Your health is brought to you by Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy.
If you or a loved one has been implanted with a pelvic mesh, commonly called a bladder sling, you may be entitled to a significant cash award. Many women implanted with this device have suffered discomfort, excruciating pain, and even incontinence. The FDA has even warned that pelvic meshes may cause serious injuries, including pain, scarring, infection, incontinence, and discomfort. If you or a loved one has been implanted with a pelvic mesh,
call the Relion Group at 800-796-6986.
Still to come on 18 Eyewitness News, they can strike anyone at any time. Why a CL injury are a growing concern, and steps you can take to protect your knees next in Your Health.
I'm Stacy Johnson. Do you know the top consumer problems in the United States? The FTC does. The 5 top consumer complaints and how you can avoid them. Just ahead on Money Talks News.
About every 4.5 minutes, someone suffers with an ACL injury in this country. Now, this strikes everyone from professional athletes to weekend warriors, and their numbers are on the rise. The good news is there are a few steps that you can take to help protect yourself. With details, here's Clark Powell.
It was during her freshman year of playing college basketball that Cassandra Pranger tore the ACL in her left knee. And while she was devastated by the injury, she wasn't surprised by it.
My senior year of high school, we had 6 ACL tears in 1 year for like 15 or 16 girls.
What's worse is that some of those injuries could have been prevented. Doctors say with just a few simple screening techniques, you can tell if your ACL is prone to injury.
What we've shown with this screen is we can predict with greater than 80% accuracy who's at high risk for a relative injury.
Timothy Hewitt is with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center and was just tapped by the NBA to help prevent ACL injuries in professional basketball players. He says there are 2 simple tests you can do at home to help size up your risk. First, simply jump off a box about a foot high with your feet shoulder width apart and go into a squat position and pay close attention to the position of your knees.
If right before she lands, if her knees go together at least half that amount as she's landing, her relative risk increases.
You can also put an X on the floor with tape and hop through the 4 quadrants. If you notice you consistently use one foot more than the other, you could be at risk. The good news is you can break bad habits long before tearing a ligament.
We want them to be able to balance and control their trunk, their center of mass, on one leg equally both sides.
To do that, focus on your core strength. Experts say things like balance exercises and lifting weights with the backs of your legs can be simple steps to avoiding a costly injury. At Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center, this is Clark Powell reporting.
Your best bet is to be evaluated by a professional, and if you are at risk, it helps to work out with an athletic trainer. After seeing ACL injuries more than double this year, the NBA reached out to Dr. Hewitt to help them identify who is at risk and how to prevent their injuries. Every year, the Federal Trade Commission releases a list of top consumer complaints. Money reporter Stacy Johnson has the top 5 and how you can avoid becoming a victim.
The chances are good you work hard for your money, and you definitely don't want to lose any of it to a scam. Every year, the Federal Trade Commission puts out a list of top consumer complaints. I'm going to give you the top 5 from last year, along with ways that you can avoid becoming a victim. Number 5, at 98,000 complaints to the FTC, was prizes, lotteries, and sweepstakes. Someone calls or emails you saying you've won a lottery you didn't enter. Then they ask you for money to pay taxes or fees on that prize. Don't send a dime. You're never going to get anything back. Number 4 on the FTC list, catalog and shop-at-home sales. That includes not getting what you paid for, either literally or in terms of quality. Solution, check store reputation and return policy before you buy something and use a credit card for added protection. Number 3 on the FTC list, banks and other lenders. Avoid being a victim by reading loan paperwork carefully before you sign anything. And the number 2 consumer complaint last year was around debt collectors. You don't have to be bullied by these people. You have legal rights. Learn what they are and exercise them. And now it's time for the number 1 consumer complaint, and I bet you know what it is. Identity theft. Identity theft topped the FTC list of complaints for the 13th year running. Most of those complaints are tax or wage-related fraud. So you need to protect your Social Security number and keep tabs on your credit report. Only use tax preparers you know and trust, file electronically through a trusted website, and if you mail your tax return in, drop it off at the post office yourself. Knowing the top 5 complaints and how to deal with them is good. But you know, there are a lot more consumer complaints, and you really need to know about all of them. Go to moneytalksnews.com and just do a search for consumer complaints. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacy Johnson.
As Stacy said, he's got lots of information and links at his website. To get there, just go to our website, KDKZ18.com, and click on the Money Talks link under the Lifestyles menu.
And coming up in sports, the St. Louis Cardinals lose to the Yankees. Blues alumni will soon be on the ice, and a tough road ahead for the Rams.
Tips to make you money delivered daily. The totally free Money Talks newsletter. Sign up now and get my money makeover video, a $50 value, as my gift. MoneyTalksNews.com.
Attention, Accutane warning. If you have Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, or inflammatory bowel disease, it may have been caused by the acne drug Accutane. Accutane victims have recently been awarded millions of dollars. Do not delay. There are time deadlines to file a claim.
Call the Rely On Group now to be connected with an experienced attorney. There is absolutely no risk on your part. You don't owe us a penny unless we are successful.
Call the Rely On Group at 800-698-3105.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, call now to get the new talking meter. These new meters are more accurate, they're easier to use, and the best news is you don't have to prick your fingers anymore. Arriva makes it simple. They bill Medicare directly. There are no upfront costs, and they deliver your supplies right to your door for free.
For more information, call 1. This is Sports Zone, only on 18 Eyewitness News.
Kevin Youtless homered and drove in 2 runs, while Hiroka Kuroda turned in 4 sharp innings, helping lead New York to a 4-0 victory over the Cardinals Monday at George M. Steinbrenner Field. The longtime Red Sox fan favorite delivered the first of what the Yankees hoped will be many big hits on their side of the rivalry, sending a solo blast toward the left center field scoreboard off St. Louis starter Lance Lynn in the 4th inning. Blues alumni will face off in the ACHA Division II All-Stars on Sunday at the Hardee's Heistplex in Chesterfield. Tickets are available at the door for $10 each and include admission to the American Collegiate Hockey Association Division II National Championship Tournament games held earlier in the day. Proceeds from the event will benefit Gateway Locomotives, a hockey program based for St. Louis and for developmentally challenged youth and young adults. The St. Louis Rams have a tough road ahead as they're about to lose several of their top offensive players to free agency. Included in the list is the best running back and 2 most productive receivers. Steven Jackson is already gone, and Brandon Gibson and Danny Amendola are almost certainly gone. They will also lose their 2 starting safeties, Quentin Mickle and Craig Dahl. The Rams have 2 first-round picks in this year's draft, but can't expect to fill all their gaping holes via the draft. That's the day in sports. I'm Fred Dawkins Jr.
Thanks a lot, Fred Jr. Looking at your forecast, when you wake up in the morning, it's going to be on the chilly side, 25 degrees, clear skies, and a northwest wind around 11 miles per hour. That does it for 18 Eyewitness News. Hope you have a good night. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, starting at 6 a.m.
When you see news happening in your area, let us know about it. You can call our news department at 573-701-9590 or email us at news@DawkinsBroadcastGroup.com. Coming up tonight on KDKZ Channel 18.